Hello everyone, so today we will solve some other questions of CSAT. So this passage, as you can see, this passage has three questions. Question number 12, then you have 13 and 14. Okay, so do not leave this kind of question just because the passage is longer. Okay, you can see that if you do like invest your time in this one passage, you can solve three questions easily. Okay, so let's read the passage. It says the poverty line is quite unsatisfactory when it comes to grasping the extent of poverty in India. Okay, so the poverty line is unsatisfactory because it cannot grasp the extent of poverty in India properly. Okay, it is not only because its extremely narrow definition of who is poor and the debatable methodology used to count the poor. So one is narrow definition, the other is debatable methodology, but also because of a more fundamental assumption underlying it. So what is the assumption? It exclusively relies on the notion of poverty as insufficient income. So their assumption is basically insufficient income or insufficient purchasing power. One can better categorize it by calling it income poverty. So they mainly talks about they talk about this income poverty. If poverty is ultimately about deprivations affecting human well-being, then income poverty is only one aspect of it. Okay, there are a lot of aspects of poverty, so this is only one aspect of it. Next, poverty of a life in our view lies not merely in impoverished state in which the person actually lives, but also in the lack of real opportunity given to, given by social constraints as well as personal circumstances. So opportunity as well as personal circumstances are also there to choose other types of living. Even the relevance of low incomes, meager possessions and other aspects of what are standardly seen as economic poverty relate ultimately to their role in curtailing capabilities. So because of all this, low income, meager possessions and other aspects, they what they do, their role is they curtail capabilities. That is, their role is severely restricting the choices. It restricts the choices, right? It restricts the choices people have to lead variable and valued lives. Okay, so we have read the passage. I hope you have understood it. Now the question. Let's solve question 12 first. So, why is the methodology adopted in India to count poor is debatable? Why is it debatable? Why the methodology is debatable? Okay, so here we have talked about the debatable methodology. Why? So the first says it is there is some confusion regarding what should constitute poverty line. Explicitly, it is not talked in the passage anywhere about poverty line. Okay, let's not just eliminate it right now. We will eliminate it later after reading all the options. Next is there are wide diversities in the conditions of the rural and urban poor. This is explicitly not talked about, not even implicit. So there is nothing mentioned in the passage with regard to rural and urban poor diversities and all of that, so we can cut it. Next is there is no uniform global standard for measuring income poverty. No, we are not even so much concerned about income poverty, and uniform global standard nowhere it is talked. It is based on the proposition of poverty as meager income or buying capacity. So this is what it is talked about, that it is debatable because there is a more fundamental assumption that it relies on insufficient income and insufficient purchasing power. So this is, I think this one is a more apt option. because since explicitly poverty, it is not talked about poverty line, so we can cut it, and this is the option. So it's option D, and this is the option as per official answer key as well. Okay, next question number 13. So it says, why is income poverty only one measure of counting the poor? Income poverty only one measure. We have seen that, we have talked that that is the only just one of those measures, but there are others as well. Okay, first option is, it talks of only one kind of deprivation, ignoring all. This seems correct, but okay, we will not take it right now. We will read other options. Other deprivations in human life have nothing to do with lack of purchasing power. This is outrightly wrong, because it is said here that all of these things, that even the relevance of low income, meager possessions, and other aspects of what are standardly seen as economic poverty relate to, like, ultimately their role is curtailing capabilities. So that is wrong. Next, it says income poverty is not a permanent condition, it changes from time to time. In the passage, there is no mention of this. Next, income poverty restricts human choice only at a point of time. Only at a point of time. This is like kind of an extreme statement, that only at a point of time, not at any other point. So we can uh, just eliminate this. One tips you can just take it, that like extreme things which are not explicitly mentioned in the passage, you should eliminate that. Okay, of course, weighing with other options as well. It talks only about one kind of deprivation, ignore all others. So this is the most apt. So option A is the correct answer, and official answer key also says so. Next, what does author mean by poverty of a life? What does author mean by this? See, this line, poverty of a life, in our view, lies not merely in the impoverished state in which the person actually lives, but not just the impoverished state, but also lack of real opportunity by social constraint, as well as personal circumstances to choose other types of living. So three conditions it is talked about. Let's see. One is all deprivations in human life which stem not only from lack of income but lack of real opportunity. So it was there. Okay, so it might be. Next is impoverished state of poor people in rural and urban areas. Nobody talked about this. So missed opportunities in diverse personal circumstances. Okay, next is material as well as non-material deprivation in human life, which restricts human choices permanently. Nobody talked about this. So between this option and this option, like, see, this is with a narrow connotation, but this is with a wider connotation, that all deprivation uh, not only stems from lack of income but real opportunities. So whatever is talked about here, that like whatever state we are living, so lack of real opportunities as well as personal circumstances, right? So option A, we will choose option A. So that's it. You can see that we have solved 3 questions. So that's it for this video. See you in the next one. Stay tuned.